Today, we're going to be doing something out of the usuals. We're going to be talking about things you should consider when choosing a house to rent or to buy, and also about properties, basically. And we have a guest who is going to take us on that today. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Joy and I'm a Nigerian YouTuber based in Lagos State. If you are new here, welcome, and if you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back. Today, we're going to be doing something out of the usuals. We're going to be talking about things you should consider when choosing a house to rent or to buy, and also about properties, basically. And we have a guest who is going to take us on that today. Please introduce yourself.
Hi, thank you very much. My name is Debbie and I'm a psychologist and I'm also a real estate manager.
Yeah, another psychologist in the house. But today we are talking about real estate. Yeah. So if you're at that point of your life where you are renting houses, or it's something you want to do in the future, or you want to know what to consider when you want to buy a house or rent a house, especially in a place like Nigeria, then you really need to keep watching. So before then, please do not forget to give this video a big thumbs. Please comment down below what you expect to see the most in this video, or what you expect to learn. And of course, do not forget to smash that subscribe button. Yeah, and we shall continue in the rest of the video. So we are starting right away. Over to you, Debbie.
So the first thing we're going to be putting into consideration when going house hunting is your budget. It's the number one thing. Why? With your budget, you already know what you want. Like, okay, if you're going to be renting a property, how much do you have on ground to rent that particular thing? Is it a 3-bedroom flat? Is it a 2-bedroom flat? Of course, with your budget, you also know how much you know exactly what you want to rent, rather. And if you're going to be buying a house, you also need to know what you have on ground, or how much you're going to be saving, or if you're going to need a loan, all those things. And with that, it will give you a more concise idea of what to tell the agent when you are going house hunting. Then the next thing, number 2 thing you should put into consideration is the area. Let's just say area generally. And when you're looking at the area, location matters. When you're looking at location not just of the place now, but location in proximity to where you work, for instance. If you're a married person, in proximity to where your children would be schooling. Like, do you want their school to be very far from the house? It's going to take a long time. Do you want to be spending a lot of hours from your office to your house? It's not
especially with Lagos traffic.
Exactly.
Hey, like Lagos traffic is mad.
Something else. In Abuja, though, it's quite okay. Traffic is not that bad, but still, proximity is still a big deal. Just be somewhere that you can easily access. And when you're looking at the area, you also want to check, do they have the necessary facilities like hospitals? Imagine you have a pregnant wife, or you yourself as a lady are pregnant, and then all of a sudden you run into an emergency labor. All those things should be put into
consideration. And even for emergency illnesses,
exactly.
If someone should fall sick in the night around like midnight, is there any health center or any hospital you can quickly go to within your estate?
Exactly.
That would not be such an issue of, you got there late or anything?
Yes, exactly. So that matters. And when you're also looking at the area, you want to know, how safe is this place? Is it very secured? What are the facilities in place for that? And then another thing, if it rains, does it get flooded? And I'm going to give you this tip. A lot of people know it. It's very common. But when you're going house hunting, they say go when it's rainy season. Because most people will take you there when it's dry. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, it's raining and your house...
And then you're wondering, when did my roof start leaking? When did the floor become damp?
Exactly.
Yes, so it's important. And then also, when you go, you should also check out the walls of the building. Not just outside, but also inside. Check out the inner walls, especially towards the floor, towards the ground. You would know whether they are getting damp or if they are actually dry. Yes. Also, if you see water emanating from inside the ground, just know that there's problem. Exactly. It's not even need to tell you. You already know that you can already see it. And then, even if the walls are damp too, you know that, okay, there's also a foundational problem. Especially these new houses that they are just building. Some of them did rush work while trying to build these places. So you need to be sure of those things before you actually pack in, so that you don't pack in and say, oh, so when did this? Because I've had an experience of where there was a damp house, and then after some time, we were just like, okay, it looks like the foundation of this place wasn't so strong because the walls started cracking. When I mean cracking, I don't mean small cracking. No. I mean quacka, 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 quacka.
How did you guys survive?
No, we eventually left there. We couldn't stay there. Like at some point, it became so unbearable. Like within 6 months, the whole place went
Water.
like not water. Like the
wall
wall was, it was so much that even a small child will even sit and be like, what's going on? Shame this thing. So you need to be careful of where you move into, so you don't have that kind of experience. I'm sharing that experience so that you can learn from it. Not so that you can pity me or so you can blame me or anything. Just so that simply you can learn from it. Even if the house maybe seems more affordable than your normal budget, it's better to go a little bit above that budget and get a better house than for it to come down to a lesser budget, which it might not be a bad thing, but get a less comfortable house. Yes. So, yeah. Back to you.
Okay. Thank you very much for that contribution as well. Okay, so having said all that, another thing that is very important when you're going house hunting is the electricity. Now, I know you're thinking, oh, electricity in the sense that do they have lights in that area? Is very important too. But electricity in the sense that that house that you want to move into or the house you want to purchase, the previous owners or previous tenants, did they pay the necessary bills?
Bam.
So that you don't go and inherit bills that you did not acquire. It's very, very annoying, honestly.
It is so annoying. See, there are cases of where people will move in and then the bills from NEPA are more than the rent.
Guys.
Can you imagine? And you know that there are some landlords and landladies that
they will hide it.
Apart from even hiding it, maybe if you come and you meet a bill and you say, okay, landlord, landlady, let me clear this bill.
Exactly.
So when it's time to pay rent, I will remove it. Some landlords will say no. So what do you want? For them to come and cost my life every month?
It's not actually a funny thing. So
it's not funny. Like there was one that I heard of. This person came and the person met 950k bill on top of NEPA. Now, one thing people don't know, what I want to chip in that people don't know is that if you are a house owner, let me just bring this here. If you are a house owner and your tenant moves out and it's not prepaid meter that is there, you are supposed to contact NEPA so that they will stop light from coming into that flat.
Yeah.
If they stop light from coming into that flat, there will be no bills until the next tenant comes. But house owners don't do this, and then it keeps piling up and piling up. The next person may come, still not pay bills, that one will pile up. The bill is still piling up. A third person comes, the bill is still piling up. That is how a bill can reach over ₦1 million. How much is the rent? How much is the bill?
Funny, man.
Are you supposed to be giving birth to twins when it has to do with rent? Like, hello, please.
It's actually a very big deal. Like,
it's a big deal.
Some
So
people
you have
be
to
neglected. They just go, pay for the house.
Try to find out what if there is any outstanding bill. Just try to somehow, whether you ask the security man or ask somebody. You may not necessarily ask the house owner because they may want to hide it. You can just ask them, who was the you know who lived here?
You can actually just request for it.
Exactly.
Request for it.
Exactly. Let me see when last the bill was paid,
yes.
And if possible, as much as it is within your power, if you can get a flat or a house that already has prepaid meter, please go ahead.
Even with the prepaid meter.
Go ahead. Even with the
prepaid meter. Okay, there's a particular place where there were outstanding bills before they installed the prepaid meter. Mm-hmm. So that person has to keep paying a certain amount
until they finish.
Before the actual money for prepaid.
And then the annoying thing.
So still check that.
The annoying thing. They can bring prepaid meter and they say you have outstanding bills. Okay, please tell me how much my outstanding bill is, so that I can pay it and have my prepaid meter in peace. No. Nigeria, it's better if you go to a place where there's already been a meter, so that they have been using that meter for a few years and there is most likely no outstanding bill. Because you can have a meter, but you are not enjoying the benefits of the meter because of an outstanding bill that you most likely know nothing about. So this, apart from your budget, and you need to go there in the raining season.
Yeah.
Yes, and then you also need to consider NEPA bills because and then also prepaid meter, because I'm sure nobody wants NEPA to come and start posting your lights every month.
Yeah,
Like, it's
somebody.
stressful. You need
annoying.
to pay disconnection fee. You need to go to their office. It's a whole lot of stress.
Okay, and we're back.
Yeah.
So another thing we would also be looking at when it comes to house hunting, neighborhood security. I know I've mentioned security when we're talking about areas, but it's a very important thing. So we're just going to say it again. Neighborhood security. Look at, is it an estate? Do they have gates? Do they just allow anybody come in? Or the house or flat, is it secured? Does it have fences? Or they have
is
fences?
the road outside your house just
Exactly.
a thoroughfare where just buses will pass, mall where will
express
pass,
places.
trailers will pass.
So-
It can be quite dangerous, because imagine if you're just trying to walk across the road.
Exactly.
There are some roads like that in Lagos, especially in places like Lagos. So you have to be careful when you are choosing houses
You
around
don't want
them.
them to be stealing your generator while you're watching.
Exactly, you be just see the generator go off, and when you come back, you are wondering, where's my generator? Even if it's like better past my neighbor.
Or gas
meaning,
cylinder.
meaning small generator. You don't want to come out and miss that your generator is out of your house. So those things are
Trust me,
actually
you don't want that.
should considered. Yeah, it's not like in the Igbo land where you keep something somewhere and you come back and meet
I
it.
meet it there.
In Nigeria, they can anything. They can
We
just
have
take.
good people, Sha.
Yeah,
We have good
we
people.
do have good
I'm a good
people.
person.
I'm also a good person too. Stop making me feel guilty. I'm a good person too.
Why are you feeling guilty?
Constant water supply.
So another thing we're going to be looking at is constant water supply. Not just constant water supply as well, but clean water. There are some areas in Lagos, some areas in Abuja,
And some areas in Kebbi.
and Enugu. I don't know about all. We're talking about
Mainly
Nigeria
rural
generally, but just
areas.
few places that we know about. There are some
Yeah.
areas that you also have to consider the specific location that their water supply would be good, at least for drinking, for cooking, for having your bath and all that stuff. Or in Lagos now, most of the people here, they do their own borehole. They do wells. In
Water
some areas,
tanks.
like I think Calabar, Cross River area, I don't know if it's the whole of Cross River, but in Calabar, there are some places where you collect a reserve of water from government. I've never been to Calabar though. I should go there sometime soon. So yeah, just consider water. How constant is their water supply there? And that's if it's government water. And if it's not, how clean is the water like that is coming from the borehole? Exactly. So that's the summary. Then we'd also be looking for proximity to bus stops, whether you are mobile, that's if you have a car or you do not have a car. How close is it to like the nearest bus stop? Is it all those inside houses that maybe somebody will be misplaced before they get to where they are going to, where they get to come and see me in my house, and then they get to that area and they're just lost. How
And
deeply
also-
inside? Or
Yeah, also if there are transport systems inside an estate, especially if the
road
estate
networks,
is
exactly.
really big. Like if someone should come to your house and then from the gate of the estate to your house is like 10 or 15 minutes walk, it might be so
Oh,
stressful for the person. But if there's maybe a bike or keke, estate bikes or estate kekes that
very important.
they can follow, it will have been better. It will also be better for you, especially if you don't have a car. If you need to get somewhere, you don't have to start walking for the first 20 to 30 minutes of your journey in the name of getting to estate gate. So some of those things are important. They may not be the most essential, but they are also very important as well. You see that NEPA bill we talked about. Please do not make that mistake of entering into a house and not knowing if there is an outstanding bill. I'm saying it again, I'm emphasizing it because that is a big problem between NEPA and Nigerians. You know the way the thing is now. Yeah.
So one more thing as well, if you are going to be buying the house, it's okay to ask for the age of the house, like how long has this structure been in place. You want to know how, because if you are purchasing it and you are purchasing it like you want to live here, this is where you probably might grow old or where your children might grow up. You want to know how old is this house, how long has this structure been in place. Is it a place that might need like major renovation or something? Then if it's rent now, I'm just giving separate things. For rent, you would also want to know what kind of, is it all those houses that the landlord or the landlady might be there? Or is it all those houses that if either person is there and you're there as a tenant, what kind of rules do they have? Is it all those places that they'll say you should be inside by 7 p.m.? Like ridiculous rules.
And then you also have to consider if you want to stay with a landlord or landlady in the same house, there are so many things you also have
so
to
many.
consider.
Like that's another story.
Exactly, that one is another video of its own because they have their own rules, they have the way the whole thing, because they will just say, okay, like there are some landlords and landladies that make it easy for you. But there are some that have rules and you may be like, no, nah, Kukuma just tell me not to live in this house. Kukuma, like,
there's some places
if
they
you
say
have,
don't have a generator. We understand, maybe
Yeah.
noise pollution and all that.
and also,
But
yes, you should also consider when you are getting a house, do these people actually allow generators, or do they have a general generator for
Yeah.
everybody, or do they just say use light and use inverter? You have to consider those things, because if there is just a general generator, it may not always be convenient for you.
True.
Because imagine if I have visitors and it's not yet time for them to put on the general generator. But if I have my own personal generator and I have visitors, I can even put it on for the next 24 or 48 hours non-stop.
Exactly.
Because I want to entertain my visitors. And maybe if there's no light, I may even put on some things and put on AC for that visitor. You never can
Yeah.
tell. But if it is a general generator, they may be like, you cannot put on AC, you cannot put on microwave, you cannot put on...
they'll be dictating what you will be doing.
Exactly. So
Can get
those
annoying.
things. And we also have to find out where would the generators be. Especially if you are picking a flat that is downstairs.
True.
Please do not make that mistake of not finding out where generators will be.
Noise.
So that the generators will not just be behind your bedroom. If they're even behind your sitting room, believe me, it's even still okay. But if they're behind your bedroom,
The night when you want to sleep.
because sometimes you may even put off your gen so that there can be peace, but your neighbor will put on gen and will put on gen all night. So if it's behind your window, that's going to be a whole case. Unless you decide not to be sleeping behind in that room where the generator is, maybe they're just clumped up somewhere. But to a very great extent, I feel that houses in Nigeria should be built in a way where the generators are not near the actual building, because it's really, really inconveniencing if somebody now has to do on blaring or the burden of the noise.
The problem is they don't hire architects. Give architects to design the building. But
They will not. They will design
No,
buildings.
give
They will not leave
bricklayers
space. They will not leave space for other things. And it's very weird. If you have prepaid meters, why are you putting all the 4 or 6 prepaid meters at somebody's doorstep? It's not making sense to me. You put all the 6 prepaid meters at someone's doorstep. You put all the generators at another person's doorstep. Thereby, all the people downstairs are now suffering. Nigeria, but why? See, now I'm telling you all these things so that you can learn. Watch out for it. Many people will not tell you.
And if you are building your own property too, because
Yes, watch out. Yes, consider these things. Consider parking space. Consider where the generator is, where the prepaid meter is, the
Very
NEPA bills.
important.
Like, those things are important. Please do not say we did not tell you, so that you don't make that mistake.
so,
Yeah. Okay, yeah, so one other thing you should also take into consideration is that some of them may require you to put your generator or your corridor like behind your house so that you don't disturb other people. Yeah. So in as much as people do not want generators behind their house, like you now, you don't want, if you're staying downstairs, I'm sure you don't want anybody else's generators to now come and be behind your room. So in some compounds, they tell them, okay, everybody puts their generator behind them. So the day you now want to put your generator on all night, guess who is to be disturbing you? Not your neighbor. And I think to a very great extent, that is fair. To me, that is fair. Whether you're upstairs or downstairs, that's your business. But that is quite fair to me. But then the thing about putting generators up, if behind on your corridor, is that it will vibrate the building. So this solution to this will just be that people, when you're building house, please leave space so that you say, okay, this place is for generators, this place is for prepaid meters. It will just make the lives of people that are renting houses easier and buying houses easier in Nigeria. If you're even buying, okay, you can do it to your taste. But if you're renting, you're not going to stay there for, you will not even stay there up to 10 years, maybe like 5 years or thereabouts, and you move out maybe to a better place or to your own house. Yes, so we're moving to the final thing for today.
Yeah, disasters, basically. Disasters, some places floods, and then some places eruption floods, basically the same thing. And you see that the house is like standing here and this side is going down and cars can't go there. Then another thing, all these pipeline explosions and all that. That area, is it on a pipeline? Is it built
Close
on,
to a pipeline?
Is it somewhere it's not supposed to be? Have they told residents there to move out? Or maybe Delta, for instance, some areas that the water is toxic to them, all those oil spillage and everything, all those disasters can affect, like, you need to consider that before you move into that place. Like, okay, what's up with this location? How safe, how healthy is it? So that you won't just be home and then all of a sudden
there's disaster.
explosion. Like,
God
no,
forbid,
God
oh,
forbid,
we don't want disasters for anybody. But
that's
we should
why-
consider, you know, they say prevention is better
Better
than
than
cure. I know
cure.
this is not a health matter, but, you know.
So-
And then also, you should also consider the fact that try not to rent a place that is just a building that is just alone in a specific place. I mean, a building that is isolated from the center of town.
Yeah.
Like everywhere around you is just dry, or everywhere around you is just bushes.
For security.
Or exactly for security, so that armed robbers or thieves will not be able to get into your house just easily like that. Because if you are just isolated, it's easier for people to burgle your house. We don't pray for that for anybody. Amen. Amen. But please take precaution so that you will not have yourself to blame later on. And if peradventure you find yourself in such a place, try not to stay at home alone most of the time. Try to go out most times. And if you have small children, please and please do not leave them at home for an entire night. And when I mean an entire night, don't travel and then say they can stay there alone. No. Because most people that are watching you will know that the parents of these people have traveled. Even when I was much younger, neighbors that used to know that our parents have traveled, we always used to, hide so that they would not try any funny thing. And we're living in an actual compound. You cannot imagine if it was an isolated place. So, and then we were actually basically a lot more grown up, but they were still trying to do funny things. You cannot imagine people who are small, maybe teenagers or a teenager and a toddler.
Yeah.
It's very easy for them to overpower. You know us, we can easily go lock the door and do shako and they cannot come in. But your own children may not be able to defend themselves. So do not put your
Let's just avoid that
exactly.
entirely.
Exactly. So yes.
So the last thing I'll be talking about finally is the fact that if you are renting, for instance, now, like, you're not going to be a tenant forever. So consider saving up to buy your property. And if properties are like really expensive, because in Lagos some properties are on the high side, really high side, and in Abuja too, likewise. And then I don't really know so much about eastern states, but there are some affordable, like all this federal housing. Yeah. So if you're saving up to exactly,
like, there are some people that bought house from NEPA, like those people that were living in NEPA quarters. At some point, NEPA sold it to them and it became their house. So if you come across the opportunity,
grab it.
And you don't grab it,
and then you can just buy land. Okay, so I work in a real estate company, Oxford Group. So Oxford Group is a group of different subsidiaries, and we're majorly into real estate. And what we do, real estate, where we sell land, we sell properties too, but we majorly deal with land, and we also sell investments. So, peradventure, you need to purchase a land where you build your own house so that you be your own landlord. You can always contact me. My number is...
I'll put your information in the description. I'll put her information.
Debbie.
Yes. I will put her name and social media handles and the link to their website in the description. So if you need to contact her, you can always find it in the description. And I may also put it on the screen as well. You know, I like to put it on the screen, so I may as well put it on the screen. Yeah, and also I would like to say thank you for the love that you showed to me in my last set of videos, the depression video. You see, she's also a psychologist.
More videos coming up.
Yes, exactly. She's also a psychologist. Thank you for the love you showed on the depression video. Thanks to everyone who watched it, who shared, who commented, who liked the video and gave me feedback on it. Thank you to all those who shared their thoughts with me. Thank you to the love also showed to me on all my other videos, especially my cancer awareness videos as well. I hope it was able to help somebody out there, any of the videos that I've done so far, and which I have many videos coming your way. Yeah, so it's time to wrap up.
Okay. Alright.
Hey guys, so we have eventually come to the end of this video. If you liked this video,
please don't forget to give us a thumbs up down below.
Comment what you learned or what you can relate to or what you enjoyed most about this video.
Share.
And of course, subscribe.
Thank you.
we shall see you in my very next video. And from both of us, we say bye.
Ciao. Hey. I don't know how to dance.